Victor Hugo, who used this word, to love is to act, I don't feel, if I've got him right, that he was talking about us acting in a way that has any pretense. He was actually talking about us doing something in the present tense and just doing something, and it doesn't have to be right, and it's fine if it's wrong.
If you want to be represented differently on the agenda, if you want to participate differently, if you want to pipe up and try and take something in a different direction, then try. That's really part of the thing.
When was I asked what my hopes and dreams are? Never. And that's what we need to pull back to care, to love, to act.
Those wounds, right, they don't disappear, but they actually are like doorways to connections. They are the things that mean that the vulnerability is something that we can really share, and means that there's a lot less that separates us than we can realize without those wounds. So they're real gifts. They're like a beautiful thing to be brave enough to share.
We think we know what it's like to recover, and we don't. The only thing we know about is how to treat things. That's it. We don't know how it is, what it means to recover, go on from there. The only people who do know what it's like to recover from something, or to recover from an injury or an illness, is someone who's been through it. So unless you've lost a leg, you don't have a clue what it's like to recover from that. And so the part that we do now is to try and bring people together.
If you've never been through that yourself, you never know how it felt. However much knowledge you gain from books or from study, but it will never be the same as you've been through yourself.
I'd start by saying parents experience the child protection system in pretty much all studies as being very difficult, very challenging.
I can maybe say a bit more radical things, which she can't.
We get quick wins as well from the FGCs initially, from that initial stepping in, and just stepping in sometimes to, alleviate some really heightened emotions, and then it's been very stage-wise, hasn't it? We can, because you're working closely with someone, we kind of pick it up. I can ring him literally and say, I need you tomorrow morning. That evening, Christmas Eve, we met literally. We needed a quick visit with a family, and we turned up on a Saturday. and just to alleviate what could have happened over the Christmas, because things escalated.
Having parents' voices at the heart of the child protection system is so critical. It's one of the greatest, deepest powers the state has to intervene in the lives of families, and how that's done, whether that's done with compassion, listening, working alongside people, is the difference between causing deep harm or it being a process that really changes people's lives and keeps children safe. And I think that our experience in Camden has been one where we opened up to parents and had really hard conversations, and I think brave conversations, and listened deeply. We'd learned that there were things that we thought that were helping people that were actually causing harm.
Someone who's been through the child protection system themselves, maybe a couple of years, 5 years, 10 years, they've come through it, they've worked things through, you know, they're no longer in a crisis day, and they get some training and supervision, and they go and support a parent who's currently going through that process. And that, I think, can be really powerful for a number of reasons. Firstly, it helps redress the balance a little bit. So they don't just go to the child protection conference, they'll meet with the parent before the meeting, they'll meet them after the meeting, they'll carry on hopefully throughout the whole process. If the child becomes subject to a child protection plan, they'll carry on supporting them throughout the process, which can be a very stressful process, because of course parents in those circumstances are very worried, understandably, that their children are going to be removed, and of course a certain proportion of those children are removed. So it's a very emotional, difficult time for parents, and have that person next to them who's clearly on their side, who has been through it and come through the other side and is clearly flourishing. Well, that shows them a bit of hope. They can see that someone else has come through the other side and managed to be doing an important job.
That pain and that feeling of loss, when we talk about connection, is what has led me to build so many positive connections with so many other people.
To give people hope that they have been through the system and in effect have survived the system and are now supporting others to do that. So I think that is the essence of peer advocacy that is different from other advocacy services.
Not what did I learn about this family, but what did I learn from this family.
If you see someone struggling, really struggling, instead of helping them, ask them to help you. By asking them to help me, I'm conveying several things. That they're trusted, they're valued, they have something to offer. That maybe I'm a bit shit, actually, sometimes too. That I'm not perfect, the world's not perfect. You convey so much by doing that.
We learn from parents who've had lived experience, and they tell us where things have gone wrong, and to see them thrive, to see them helping other parents, to see the difference that has made and enable children to stay with their families and their wider community, and seeing that the kind of imagination of families and communities is always greater than it will be of just us as a council alone. So I think it's a really powerful force that has to sit at the heart of the future of social work.
Not just on an individual level that peer advocacy programs have benefit. They have benefit about much more broader system change when the experiences and voices of parents and others with lived experience are heard in different arenas in all child protection organisations.
The spark, you know, it's like when you fall in love with somebody, sometimes you don't even need to say. You just sit there and you can feel. And I think that is some emotional advantage